Alright, hello everyone. Sorry for the last few days, I was not able to make a kit review for these characters, I was a bit busy. But anyway, these characters, they are not the same as Mao pack. These characters, they are the Shi branch, and they basically function on crits instead of haste, which is why it's not that consistent compared to the speed branch, because haste triggers immediately, while this one you need to crit, so it's RNG, and you also need to see how fast they can build up the poise, which is one of the issues. Well, these characters, they kind of fix their own issues, so they are really damn powerful, and I'll be explaining why right now. First off, these characters are very similar to each other, so I will be talking about their skills in tandem. Let's start off with the defense for both. This one is Gain Serpent Arm, and this one is also Gain Serpent Arm. They are both clashable guards, which is quite cool. It means that if you win, you don't have to take any damage at all. Serpent Arm is very powerful, because like I said, the reuse coin conditions for both of them requires them to have quite a bit of poise or to get crits for some of their conditions. So if they can't crit, then it's kind of annoying. Well, these characters, they gain a lot of poise, a lot of it, as long as you have Serpent Arm. At turn end, you passively gain 3 poise and +2 poise count. And on base attack skill use, if target has Rupture, gain 5 poise. Both of them have this, so they're able to build at least 8 poise every single turn, not even including any other skills they might use to give them a little bit more poise, like this skill over here, or for Gregor's case, I think it was his skill 3 that will give him additional 5 poise. So just passively, you are generating 8 poise every single turn. And one of the conditions that you want to hit is you want to hit 30 poise. So 8, 16, 24, 32, right? So you need about 4 turns or 3 turns if you use your skill 3, because skill 3 usually gives you enough to pump you up to the 30. When you hit the 30, you can use your skill 2 and you can reuse it. So that is the why you want to hit the 30 poise. But in terms of coin power, all you actually need is 20 poise. So you hit your poise maximum at 20 first to maximize all of your clashing and all of your damage. After that, you want to hit 30 so you can reuse on the skill 2. Both of them have the same condition, so they are very similar in this regard. And after you use your defense skill for both of them, you want to actually use your skill 1 and skill 2 every now and then. You don't really care that you don't get the reuse effect yet. The reason you use it for both of them is because both of these skills, they always give you poise count. So you are passively gaining 2 poise count, then whenever you attack, you also gain another 2 poise count, effectively allowing you to keep hitting for the rest of your life. Right? You're not guaranteed to crit, so that means that as long as you just keep using your skills, you will keep gaining so much poise count, and you will be able to just keep maintaining these crits all the way until the end of the game. Right? So very powerful. All you need to do is just build up to 20 first, after that go to 30. Skill 1 is going to be something that you use to maintain poise count, and if you have Serpent Arm, you get additional effects. And Serpent Arm, by the way, is not Strider. It can actually be refreshed, because skill 2, if you notice, on crit, you gain 1 Serpent Arm, which means that you can actually refill the Serpent Arm, which means that after you use your defense skill 1 time, you never have to go back. All you need to use is skill 2 or skill 3 every now and then. This one gives you 3 Serpent Arm, this one refreshes you by 1 Serpent Arm, and this is on the reuse coin, which means that you can crit twice and gain 2 Serpent Arm, so you never ever have to go back to using your defense skill ever again after the first use of it, which I think is pretty damn amazing. Right? So this is going to be one of the most interesting characters, because your defense skill is basically something you only want to use 1 time, and then after that you're just using the rest of your skills for the entire game. Right? Gaining poise count, after that using your skill 2 at 30 poise potency, consume poise, use a reuse coin, inflict the death right. Now we want to talk a little bit about death right here. When getting Rupture triggered by a critical hit, you lose 1 stack. So every time you're hitting with any of these, right, take note that all of them have at least one Rupture potency on them, which means that all of these are applying Rupture, which means all of them meet the condition for your Death Right Venom. But look at what happens if you up die 3, by the way. If you up die 3, your skill 2, the first coin loses the +1 Rupture potency, which means that that coin cannot trigger the Death Right Venom even if it crits. So you lose consistency if you don't up tie for them, right? So that's one of the reasons to want to up tie for them. And if you just keep hitting and even use the reuse, if the reuse also crits, then you're helping to nuke down this Death Right Venom. And the goal is to pop it, because when you pop it, they take gluttony damage equal to the Rupture potency on themselves. Very powerful stuff. Both of them are exactly the same, except for this one line over here. Inflict +1 Rupture count. Well, if you go over here, you instead inflict +1 Rupture potency. Skill 1 is the same, +1 Rupture count, And then Rodion 1 is run 2 potency instead. So they are similar, but not that similar. It's like I copied your homework, but then I changed like one line. Alright, so that's what happened to these two characters over here. Then we move on to your skill tree. Skill tree, this is where they both drastically change. They are no longer the same character. Serpent's Mortal Flurry is a spam of attacks with your hands using this Unfocused Volley. This has attack weight of 3, so by default you target 3 people. Unfocused Volley means that each coin can target a different person except the main one. The first coin will always hit the main target. Then you get coin power +1 for every 10, maximum of 2. Gain clash power equal to Serpent Arm on yourself. So this thing is going to have maybe +2, so 6, 12, 18, 18, +5, 23 in total. Very, very nice. Clash power will help you to bump that a little bit. Maybe you have +3 or maybe +2. That will help you go to like 26 or 25 depending. Right? And on Clash Wind, you also inflict +1 Rupture count on all targets, which is very nice. You gain +2 poise count. You gain 2 poise on hit with the second coin. And then the third one, this is where the fun begins, because reuse this coin once, 2 times per skill. To avoid another Ring Yi Sang incident, they've made it so that this reused coin is going to spray everywhere, so you will not do a billion damage to one guy. You are most likely going to do a little bit of damage to multiple guys, right? Unless you're hitting a boss or just one body part, or you are only hitting like maybe 2 body parts, in which case you can pray a little bit and maybe they will all hit one target. We use this coin twice, and on crit you also reduce Deathrite Venom on target by 1. Remember that Deathrite has a passive where if you are applying Rupture and you crit, you lose 1 stack, which means that this is a +1. Right, so +1, and then if you crit with this one, you also do another +1. This inflicts Rupture count, so that does meet the condition of getting Rupture, right? So this thing here is very, very powerful, right? You are able to just nuke a bunch of Deathrite Venom from targets that do have the Deathrite Venom. And this, if you apply it onto one boss, you're basically gonna nuke the entire Deathrite Venom off the boss, 100%. This thing is really, really powerful, and the fact that you reuse this twice means that your final coin power will be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 35. 35. Holy shit. If you could get somehow all of this onto one target, this would be absolutely insane amounts of damage output. And also your passive, as long as you have Serpent Arm, and as long as the target has Deathrite Venom, you deal additional 5% damage for each of these conditions met. While Gregor is going to be different. Gregor has no Unfocused Volley, but he only has 1 coin. But in exchange for this 1 coin, they decided to pump his coin power into the heavens. Like he has 8 plus 14, so that's going to be 22. 22, you have coin power of 4 here and a coin power of 6 here if you have Serpent Arm and you meet the condition here. So that's another plus 10. So 22 plus 10, 32. 32 on a skill tree. You literally cannot lose unless you are literally fighting a WoW ego or something like that. Or you're fighting a He ego like Kapot Massault. Then you can't win that one because that one's 45, right? So this thing here is basically a Theft ego or even a He ego in terms of clashing power. So it is really, really powerful, and 200% multiplier. 10% damage for every poise potency plus Rupture potency. So if you have 20 poise potency, you're almost guaranteed the crit. And then another 200% multiplier. Oh my god. If you have Serpent Arm, by the way, it gives you 3 Serpent Arm. It gives you it. So this is 100%. You get additional 100% damage on critical hit. So you are able to do 300% multiplier on this bugger over here. And then on hit, reduce Deathrite Venom. On crit, reduce Deathrite Venom. Oh my god, that one guy just deleted the Deathrite Venom as long as you crit. So make sure you hit the 100% crit chance, which is I think 20, right? If you hit 20 poise potency, you get 100% crit chance. So you boom, nuke his entire Deathrite Venom, and then you pop him with raw damage plus this thing over here, plus your passive damage increases. Oh my god, that thing is gonna hurt. This explosion is gonna hurt. And then you also inflict +2 Rupture count, because why not, right? 1 coin, so you might as well make it Rupture count positive, and then you reapply Deathrite Venom for someone else to go and punch it later. Like, yeah, like that's it. This character is so damn strong, and Sank Massault, who is also a crit Rupture character, can trigger it, right? So yeah, it's just an insane addition to the Rupture team. It looks so damn strong. When I first looked at this, I saw it was like 5 stacks. I was like, wow, it's gonna have to nuke it by a lot, right, in order to actually drop this to 0. And then I saw the skill tree and I was like, okay, never mind, they are just gonna nuke it with 1 skill. While Rodion is going to be a little bit RNG, but she can technically nuke it also with one skill. Like, this is absolutely incredible, right? These characters are really, really strong. Another one to talk about is actually the support passive for this character, because the support passive for this character here is interesting in that you might want to have a level 1 Gregor, because if this unit is killed, then the substitute character will have 2 poise potency every single turn. So that could be actually quite interesting, where you just kill your Gregor and then feed the one guy coming in a bunch of poise for a bunch of shenanigans. So yeah, this Gregor actually has some interesting uses with this support passive over here as well. But the Rodion one, nothing much to talk about for support passive. It's legit just offense level and defense level down. This one is whatever, right? These characters, holy shit, man. Like, look at the synergy. They apply Deathrite Venom, then they pop skill 3. Then the other guy applies Deathrite Venom, then the other person applies skill 3. So you're gonna be popping this Deathrite Venom relatively consistently, especially if you're fighting one target, right? The boss is absolutely dead. You're gonna trigger additional 99s on top of the 99s that you're already hitting because you've stacked up your Rupture potency. You might think that this one's a bit overkill, right? Oh, we're already doing 99 per hit. Why do I care about this one? Well, I mean, it is gluttony damage, so it could technically do more damage, but it's just free. That's the thing, it's free. These characters just passively apply it. They're gonna crit at Ungabunga and they're gonna enjoy Rupture on the target. So they're going to be like King. They enjoy Rupture, they Ungabunga really hard, and they have a bonus on top of that. The bonus is not that important, but the bonus is still a bonus, right? So it's still damn good. So yeah, these characters are really, really powerful characters, and I do think that this Rodion actually replaces your Deviat Rodion, unless you want to use her as a Ungabunga, because this Deviat Rodion is way better as a Ungabunga just because Career Trunk is very self-sustaining. All you need to do is just play the game and the character will play itself, right? Just keep getting Deviat Rodion Career Trunks and then you can just go and Ungabunga whatever the hell you want. Right, so these characters still really, really good for Ungabunga purposes, but for the purposes of just using them in a very dedicated Rupture team, I think that the 2 Heishous are now 100% must-gets and use in the Heishou team. Because you have these 2 characters who are very good at being very Rupture count positive, then you have 2 characters who are not that good but really enjoy it and do crazy amounts of damage if you're able to stack that Rupture potency. So if we want to increase the damage cap of Rupture, these 2 characters are quite essential. I don't have them yet, but I have done some testing with them. Well, these characters are really damn important, and also you must have both of them to really feel like some effect, right? If you don't have both of them, then it's gonna be a bit awkward because you only have one person triggering all of the Deathrite Venom, unless you use your Sanctum Assault, who can also do it because he crits as well, right? So yeah, all of this on top of the fact the egos support it, right? The egos are very, very good, because this Gregor comes with ADD Gregor, and ADD Gregor makes it so that when you hit a target with a Gloom attack, you gain +1 Rupture count. Remember that your C Rodion, your Heishou Rodion, is going to be a Gloom skill tree, 5 coin, right? So that could be very, very powerful against the boss, or you corrode the ADD, because if you corrode ADD Gregor, if you corrode it, you get an AoE and it's still your positive coin, right? So this is really, really damn strong. Really, really insanely strong. And you're able to just spread a bunch of ADDs, and it's not just for her, because you have still quite a few characters here that are going to have a Gloom skill in their kit. Gloom Salute. Then you also have the Gloom Cursed Writ. Then you also have the Gloom skill 3, the Whirlwind Om Nom Nom, and then you also have the Gloom skill 2 over here. So ADD plus this Gregor, oh my god, outside of Mirror Dungeon I mean, where Rupture count is plentiful, you might really want to consider fueling this ADD just so you can get a bunch of +1s to all of these Gloom skills that you're going to hit with. And then remember, you also have Ebony Stem. Ebony Stem is really, really strong because it makes this character even more positive than before, right? So you can make your Curse Rate become like a +5, +7? I can't remember the number already. But your skill tree for Otis, if you can roll hit coins and you can use the Gloom skill on ADD, is a shit ton of Rupture count. Like, these 2 cannot eat through that Rupture count if they try and you manage it properly. Like, yeah, really, really strong additions to the Rupture team for sure. So, in the recent Kanto, which is right now, they finally allowed us to bring 7 members into fights. So I'm not sure if they're going to actually implement this for all endgame content. Not sure if Reflection Railway or Mirror Dungeon will allow 7-member team comps yet. But I'm going to talk about the potential teams for 7 and 6. Right? For 6 right now, let's assume we just have a regular 6-man team, 6-man and woman team. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, all of the Heishous in one team. Right? Then you need to fuel ADD, assuming you're not in Mirror Dungeon. So you need Gloom, and you also need Envy, in which case you kind of really want Faust. Because Faust has Envy and Gloom, and she will shit it out non-stop. In which case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Of course, if you don't want to have a very strong source of it, feel free to swap it out. You can put it over here, because the other 2 characters do generate a little bit of it, but it's not that fast. You have to wait quite a bit in order to get the ADD. Well, without her, then you maybe want to swap in someone else, like maybe your LCE Yisang, because you can still shit out a bunch of Envy with this skill 2 over here. Right? Gloom is actually quite common in the Rupture team. It's just Envy which is a problem. Envy can be either taken from here, or from here, or from your new Rodion's skill 1. But it'll still take a while. So preferably you have 2 sources. So you can do like something like LCE Lantern, go in, kill himself after a while. After that, swap in your Faust also can. Like, these all work. But the final one, if you assume no deaths, no sacrifices, then it's just Heishou, 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 Heishou. After that, 1 and then 2. Or you can swap this with this one. Like, that's it. Until Jia Xichun, an ID equivalent to her, comes out. This is basically what we have right now for the Rupture team, and it's already very, very powerful. Because giga amounts of Rupture count, a character that doesn't consume Rupture count, very positive Rupture count applier, and 2 characters that are kind of negative but in exchange allow you to increase the damage cap of the Rupture. The new IDs are going to just make Rupture 100% one of the best statuses in the entire game, or it's already just going to be like swapped off, because like, look at the current team we have. It's so synergistic already, and it can do either Rupture shenanigans or it can do Ungabunga with enjoyment of Rupture shenanigans. It's really up to you what you want to do with these characters. They are basically similar to the Blood Fiends. They are not exactly here to do bleeding. They like bleeding, but they don't need it. They're here to Ungabunga, and they Ungabunga really hard if there's bleeding on the targets. Well, the new Heishous, they're basically those kinds of characters. They really like Rupture. They don't necessarily do a lot to help Rupture, but they do so much Ungabunga that you really want them in the Rupture team. So that's why you want to absolutely run these 2 new Heishou characters, especially replacing this Deviat Rodion. Unless you're worried about Rupture count, then you can feel free to keep using Deviat, because Deviat is still a 15 and 3 character, which means that she can maintain Rupture count very, very easily with no brain power required. So that's all I have to say for these characters here. If I missed anything, feel free to let me know, but I am definitely looking forward to what kind of crazy new Rupture count statuses they're going to introduce in this season, because right now, the Rupture team is so insanely strong, and it hasn't even been any Jia family added yet. We are currently still in Heishou mode. So what the hell are the Jia family going to do to Rupture? I can't even tell you, because it's already so damn strong already. Are they going to make it so like you activate Rupture like 5 times or something, then you do like 400 damage if you can stack it up? I don't freaking know, man. Like, they could do so many things to make it even stronger, and I can't name all of them, but right now it's just so synergistic and so damn good. You can probably run it in or outside of Mirror Dungeon, and it will be very, very powerful already. Alright, anyway, that's going to be all I have to say for this. Thanks guys for watching, and I shall see you guys next time. Bye bye.